tutorial on how to utilize the Pulse AI signals and risk monitoring tool within Chatmeter. So once you log in, you'll first come to the snapshot screen here, as we see on the left-hand side. Where you're going to want to go next is right here under Pulse AI. So if I click on that, it will automatically pull up the signals tool, which you'll see a quick little progress bar that went by there. Great thing about this is by default, it will automatically put in a question here asking the tool. So really what this allows you to ask our AI component number of different questions based on what you're really looking for and what kind of trends are happening within your properties. So it does automatically do that question there where it says, what are people saying about my business? You'll first see this overview right here where it talks about a number of different things that people are saying within the walls of your property there or within your online reviews as well as social, which we'll get into in just a second here. Another really great feature around this tool is you'll see the automatic question here, but you are able to expand on these questions as well. I can go over to the reviews section right here on top to really pin down exactly what people are saying on those online reviews. So if I scroll down, you'll see a number of different reviews for a number of different properties here. Of course, keep in mind as you are utilizing Chatmeter, your login will be very specific to your properties. So if you oversee one property or you oversee 5 properties, it will encompass those different properties there, of course. You can also move over to the social side of things as well and see what people are saying on Facebook, for example, right here as well. But I'm going to focus on the reviews section. I would say this is where most people are really spending their time looking to see what people are saying within the online reviews there. So I can see it says, what are people saying about my business right here? I can actually type in anything I want here. So, what are people saying about the staff? I can do that, for example. It will then kick off this loading bar, and it will give me some more answers here once we see this finish loading. So I'll let that go. There it's going. As that's loading, I will also call out on the right-hand side, you will see that is by default the last 3 months. So that's going to be the last 90 days. I can change these filters really whenever I would like. So we still have the same question in here, and I want to look at the last 6 months, for example. I can go ahead and use that. If I want to just focus on specific providers, so if I just want to look at Google, I can do that as well. And also this global filter here will show based on your different properties as well. So if, again, you do oversee more than one property, you can narrow it down to one. If you do just oversee one property, it will, of course, just show that one property there. All right. I'll also show you another great feature is you can see, obviously, I put what are people saying about our staff. Using these expanded questions here are really great to kind of dive further in without you having to think, oh, what should I ask, right? So if I wanted to say what type of communication or customer service issues do residents describe when they report negative experience with staff, I can go ahead and just click right on that and it will analyze that question there. So again, as a reminder, you can type in really whatever you would like at the top, or you can go ahead and go with the ones that we kind of recommend for you just to kind of get you thinking, and using any combination of that is great as well. So maybe you start off with one of your questions like I did, what are people saying about the staff? And then you dive further in deeper to really kind of understand more so what the AI tool is picking up. So once that gets done, you'll see under this review section here, it is going to give you kind of a statement at top there, and then it will give you some great bullet points right there, really talking about specific things like unreturned calls and emails, voicemails, for example, vague, late, or misleading communication about important issues, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's another summary down here at the bottom. And then again, you will go ahead and see the feature reviews. Obviously, in this case, we were talking about, issues. So that's why you do see it leaning much more towards the negative side of things. So that is the signals tool. My biggest recommendation is really getting in here and just asking as many questions as you can to kind of see what people are saying. And really, the idea here is so you don't have to go read every single review. You can very quickly go in and kind of get an overall feel of what people are saying in those online reviews. Next section we're going to cover is going to be risk monitoring. So if I go ahead and click on that on the left-hand side over here, what the risk monitoring tool does is it kind of flags online reviews that are a little bit more risky, I guess, for lack of a better term. These are going to be ones you definitely want to make sure that you are paying attention to and addressing. So, things that you can see the different buckets here. We have discrimination, harassment, customer safety, employee safety, unfair business practice, and theft. So, again, these are going to be ones that probably need a little bit more attention. We want to try to get to these as quick as we possibly can to avoid bigger PR nightmares, someone making a viral TikTok or something along those lines. So, what I would say here is I would definitely always be making sure you're focusing on the red first. What the red means is there is a larger number of risky reviews in this category versus the same time period previously. So, in this case, we were looking at the last 6 months. So, that'd be these last 6 months versus the previous orange or yellow, whatever color that is, that means it's roughly around the same number of risky reviews. And then green means you have less number of risky reviews in that category versus the previous time period. Okay. Great thing about this is from here, I can very easily just click on one of these numbers and it will immediately take me to my review section and you'll be able to see those reviews. So we'll click on this 167 here. If I click on that, it immediately takes me into the review section where I will see these tags right here based on the actual review themselves. So the great thing about this tool is you don't necessarily have to go into Pulse AI and look at your risk dashboard like that. As you're going through and you're responding to reviews like you should be, you will actually see these big tags right here as well to kind of showcase, hey, this is a review that is a little more sensitive, might need a little bit of extra attention. So make sure you keep an eye out for these tags here. And that is Pulse AI.